All right, so Joe Biden loves to pass the buck and point the finger at Republicans all the while, time and time again. He refuses to work with them whatsoever. But even if he did, it's seemingly that Republicans on Capitol Hill, some can't get out of our own way. Case in point, Democrats are reveling at the opposite side of the aisle's inability to get on the same page on the debt ceiling. Some Republicans are playing super hardball with Speaker Kevin McCarthy on the debt limit bill, and he's bringing it to the floor this week. Joining me now is in that fight, California Congressman Mike Garcia. Congressman, I want to address two things. One, the bill, and two, the infighting. So do we have enough votes as Republicans to get something through that we can send to Biden's desk that he probably will veto?
Yeah, I think we're going to get there before the vote comes up for sure. It's the first step of a negotiation. But let's take a little trip through history here, a little trip down memory lane. And macroeconomics, especially, is physics with dollar signs, right? For every action, there's a reaction. When you look back over 12 years, from 2009 to 2020, our nation's annual operating budget was $1.3 trillion. That's 12 years of budgets, basically flatline. In 21, it was 1.4. In 22, it was $1.5 trillion. In 23, it was $1.7 trillion. And now this year, the president has requested $1.9 trillion, which is a 48% increase over just 4 years ago's budget. So this is an existential conversation that we're having about the economy right now. So I think we will get there. All Republicans who have issues with some of the finer points of this bill will understand there's a greater cause here, and it's literally the survival of our country.
Yeah, but Congressman, and this is the overarching problem, I think, with government, which you obviously see yourself, but that the government will always use short-term tragedy to impose long-term solutions like, hey, now 1.9 trillion, which is an astronomical number. But, Biden says he's going to veto this thing. Just last week, he was like, put something on my desk and let's negotiate, but I'm not going to negotiate. Like, you guys control the purse. Why can't he at least concede something?
Yeah, it's mind-boggling to me. It was something so important to hear such irresponsible rhetoric coming out of the Oval Office in this case. This nation was founded on compromise and negotiations. The Constitution was a product of that. And to be looking at record high debt of $31 trillion, record high inflation for almost 3 years, over 7%, and then to have the President of the United States say he's going to veto everything that we bring forward is absolutely, it's flagrant, it's irresponsible, and we need to get him to the table, and including the Senate as well. We're bringing forward a good package. There's about $4.8 trillion of either savings or cost avoidance without going after Social Security and Medicare. We're actually protecting Social Security and Medicare, and we're going after the money that wasn't spent during COVID and getting back to the FY22 number that I described earlier. And that's responsible spending. This is what you would want your accountant and your head of household to behave like. Yeah,
and Congressman, it just seems like, though, that let's say we hit this debt ceiling, we can't pay our bills and things like that. But at the end of the day, in 2 years, let's say we have a Republican president, will you guys have a bill on the deck ready to go that addresses all the things that Biden has been unwilling to?
Yeah, I think we have to. I think we've got to address not just this spending crisis that we have, record high inflation, record high debt, but also the border crisis, the myriad of national security crises, whether it's China or our allies overseas. We've got a lot of problems to solve here as a result of Biden. So the prospects of having him for 4 more years, to me, is absolutely catastrophic moving forward here. And we've got to, and hopefully he's willing to learn from us and take lessons out of the party's page here that we're going to be bringing forward solutions. And he should be simply writing them down and implementing them as the President of the United States.
Well, officially, as of today, he wants to, quote, finish the job, whatever that means. Congressman Mike Garcia, we appreciate you joining us. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Carl. Appreciate it.
All right. Well, we've